Shelter dogs face euthanasia, but the vet sees this and stops everything. At a local animal shelter, a heartbreaking decision was about to be made as several dogs faced euthanasia due to overcrowding. But just as the vet prepared to proceed, he noticed something that changed everything. What he discovered brought hope and a second chance for the dogs' lives. In the peaceful town of Oakville, tucked among Vermont's green hills, stood a small veterinary clinic named Hope. Renowned for its compassionate staff and modern facilities, the clinic was a haven for animals in need. Leading the team was Dr. Theresa Gray, a kind-hearted veterinarian with warm eyes and a gentle smile. Theresa had dedicated her life to caring for animals, witnessing countless remarkable cases over the years. However, the story about to unfold would leave a lasting impact on her perspective on veterinary care in animals. It began on an ordinary Tuesday when the clinic received an unexpected call from the local airport. An employee reported an unusual shipment from Vietnam, which included 2 puppies rescued from the streets of Ho Chi Minh City. Theresa quickly dispatched a veterinary ambulance to retrieve the puppies and bring them to the clinic. When they arrived, her heart ached at the sight before her. 2 frail, skeletal puppies lay trembling, barely clinging to life. The older one, despite his weakness, clung tightly to the younger, as if determined to shield him from any harm. Theresa began a thorough examination. The puppies were in terrible condition, emaciated, dehydrated, and covered in parasites. Both had severe colds, and Theresa suspected pneumonia in the younger one. But what struck her most was how the puppies reacted to each other. Every time Theresa tried to separate them for examination, they would whine and reach for each other. The older puppy, whom Theresa named Kirby, constantly tried to shield the younger one, whom she named Cobb. Their bond was so strong that it seemed almost tangible. Theresa shared the puppy's story with her team. It turned out that they had been found by Buddhist monks during a morning walk through the streets of Ho Chi Minh City. The stray puppies were found shivering in a rain-soaked cardboard box. Moved by compassion, monks at a temple took them in, providing food, warmth, and basic care. However, the puppies required more advanced treatment than the monks could offer, so they reached out to an international animal protection organization, which arranged their transport to another country. At the clinic, Theresa and her team developed a treatment plan. The puppies were placed in a quarantine box and given antibiotics, anti-parasite medications, IV fluids, and special food to help them recover. The first days were critical, and Theresa stayed at the clinic, closely monitoring their condition. She noticed that seeing each other seemed to calm the puppies, improving their vital signs. However, according to clinic rules, sick animals had to be kept separately to prevent the spread of infections. As time passed, the puppy's condition didn't improve. Despite the veterinarian's efforts, Kirby and Co. only got worse. They refused to eat, lost weight, and their immune system seemed to have shut down. Theresa was at her wit's end. She had tried every known treatment method and consulted with colleagues from other clinics, but nothing worked. The puppies were fading before her eyes, and Theresa began to fear that they might have to resort to euthanasia to spare the little ones from endless suffering. One evening, while reviewing their medical records, Theresa noticed a strange pattern. Every time the puppies were brought together for examination, their vital signs improved slightly. But as soon as they were separated, things went back to how they were. This thought kept nagging at Theresa. She remembered how tightly the puppies hugged each other when they were first brought from Vietnam. Could their bond be the key to their recovery? Theresa started researching the effects of emotional connections on the physical health of animals. To her surprise, she found several scientific articles describing similar cases. One study mentioned how keeping sick animals of the same species together sped up the healing process. An article highlighted the importance of social bonds for animal immune systems, sparking an idea for Theresa. The next morning, she proposed a risky plan to place Kirby and Co. together in one enclosure and treat them jointly. Despite objections about violating protocol and infection risks, Theresa stood firm, believing it was their last chance. After much debate, the plan was approved. Kirby and Co. were placed in a specially equipped enclosure under close monitoring. To everyone's amazement, the puppies began improving within hours. They became more active, started eating, and even played together. Day by day, they grew stronger, their immune systems fighting off disease, and their weight steadily returned to normal. Theresa carefully monitored their progress, documenting every change. A week after their reunion, a true miracle happened. A test showed that Cobe's pneumonia was starting to recede. A few days later, the signs of a severe cold disappeared in both puppies. They began gaining weight and spent more time playing rather than lying still. Kirby and Cobe's story quickly spread through the clinic, drawing staff members eager to see the miraculous puppies who had defied death through their remarkable bond. Theresa frequently emphasized the importance of emotional support in the healing process, and news of the case soon reached beyond the clinic. A local newspaper dubbed them the miracle puppies from Vietnam, prompting many visitors to see them, including the Anderson family, Dylan, Brittany, and their 10-year-old daughter, Kayla. The family initially came to donate, but instantly fell in love with the playful puppies. Kayla, captivated by Kirby and Cobe, couldn't take her eyes off them. The Andersons began visiting regularly, bringing toys, treats, and love, which Theresa noticed brought visible joy to the puppies. Time passed, and Kirby and Cobe fully recovered. The question of their future arose. Theresa knew that they could never be separated, but finding a home for two puppies at once was very difficult. The Andersons, without hesitation, offered to take both puppies home. They understood how important it was for Kirby and Cobe to be together and were ready to give them a truly loving home. Theresa was overjoyed. She couldn't have dreamed of a better family for her charges. The day Kirby and Cobe left for their new home was both joyful and sad for Theresa and the entire clinic staff. They had grown attached to these amazing puppies, but were happy that they had found a loving family. Kayla couldn't hold back her tears of joy as Kirby and Cobe stepped through the door of their new home for the first time. The puppies, as if sensing that they had finally found a real family, joyfully raced around the rooms, exploring every corner. The Andersons created the perfect environment for Kirby and Cobe. They bought them comfortable beds and lots of toys, and they even set up a special play area in the garden. But the most important thing was that the puppies were always together and surrounded by love. Theresa often visited Kirby and Cobe in their new home, delighted to see them thriving. Once frail puppies, they had grown into healthy, beautiful dogs, their bond as unbreakable as ever. They still slept curled up together and were inseparable companions. Their story not only transformed their own lives, but also profoundly influenced the practices at Hope Clinic. Inspired by Kirby and Cobe's story, Theresa introduced new treatment methods, placing greater emphasis on the emotional well-being of animals. The clinic even implemented special enclosures to house animals of the same species together. Their story also inspired a new generation of veterinarians, proving that true miracles are always possible in their profession. Thus, the two little puppies from Vietnam, through their extraordinary bond, not only survived, but also touched the hearts of everyone around them. Kirby and Cobe's story became a powerful symbol of hope and love, reminding us all that sometimes the greatest healing comes from the simple act of being close to those we care about. What an incredible story! If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. See you in the next video.